In this second video about markets, hierarchies, and networks, we'll try to compare them and see how they are different in terms of their pros, their cons, and the behavior of them. If we start with a market, so a market, according to this logic, is a place where there's very little interaction between a buyer and a seller. There is an exchange of goods and services, and the transfer goes via money, and that's it. There is no long-term relation. So the market offers choice, flexibility, and opportunity. You can go there and you can buy anything you want, and you can buy it in virtually any quantity you want. This is fast and simple communication. It's a simplistic device, a market, generally speaking. So you can say markets, they coordinate, they do not integrate. There is no long-lasting relationship here. So they're not really good at dealing with various ambiguities. Again, Powell, markets are unsuccessful at capturing the intricacies of idiosyncratic, complex, and dynamic exchange. As a result, markets are a poor device for learning and the transfer of technological know-how. If we take the other extreme point, which is hierarchy or vertical integration, meaning that you do things in-house instead of relying upon the market, what you then get is reliability and stability. You get efficiency, you get executive power, control. So if something is within the organization instead of on the market, you can control it and you can decide if somebody doesn't behave the way you want to. You can direct them through bureaucratic power into doing so. However, you also put your own resources into this specific task, so you are less flexible. You get the stability, but it's more difficult to enact any larger change. You do not have the same scalability either as if you would rely upon a market. Networks here are somewhere in between. So you get some stability and reliability, much more than in the market where you have arm's length distance. As you are a little bit intertwined here, you get a little bit of control. You have more scalability than you have in a hierarchy where you do it in-house, but you have less scalability than had you been on a market where you could have decided to buy any amount you wished for. There is interaction here, much more than on a market, but less than in a hierarchy. Now, one implication of all this is that the optimal means of organizing interactions therefore depends on what you want to accomplish. You have trade-offs here in these different forms of organizing, but what you want to accomplish then determines where you should be in this trade-off. Now let's look at those trade-offs in a rather simplistic way. You have market, network, and hierarchy. In terms of power, you have a lot of power in the hierarchy. You have none in the market. You have some power in a network. Flexibility, you have a lot in the market, some in a network, none in a hierarchy. Scalability, you get a lot in the market, some in a network, none in the hierarchy. Knowledge transfer, you get no knowledge transfer in the market, you get a lot in hierarchy, you get some in a network. So again, the same activity can be organized with different levels of vertical scope, and related to that you would have different challenges. If you take the market logic now, you would have scalability. If you have developed the Quest bar and you manage to sell it via Walmart and ICA and Coop and all other stores, you can reach a much larger market in a very easy and simple way. Now, if you are in the network mode and sell this via independent individuals who are distributors, you do get a fair bit of scalability here, but you try to build upon the relations that others have in order to make them more inclined to buy your product, make you more loyal. So there is less scalability here. There is slightly more control in terms of how you frame and how you position the product. And the vertical integration mode means that the GNC protein bar you're only going to find in a GNC store. So you get much less scalability. On the other hand, you can control how it is being exposed in the GNC store as opposed to had it been at Walmart, for instance. So in which industries do network forms of organizing occur? Well, when there's a need for know-how, demand for speed and flexibility, trust, you would favor a network form of organizing. The more general and more substitutable our resources, the more likely they will be secured through short-term market transactions. When possessing knowledge that can be applied in different settings, a network structure would give the scalability required.